Imagine you're riding a late-night train. Outside your window, there's nothing but darkness. Occasionally, distant railroad crossing lights flash by. Most of the passengers are asleep. The only sound filling the cabin is the rhythmic clatter of steel wheels rolling over the tracks. Then, without any announcement, without appearing on the timetable, the train begins to slow down until it comes to a complete stop at a station that doesn't exist on any railway map. It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie. Yet stories about mysterious train stations have been told for decades across the world, from Japan to the United Kingdom, India, and several countries across Eastern Europe. The station names are different, the railway lines are different, but the stories always follow the same pattern. The train stops, the doors open, an unfamiliar station appears, and just a few minutes later, it's gone, as if it had never existed.
One of the most frequently repeated accounts tells of a passenger traveling alone on an overnight train. The journey had been completely ordinary. No delays, no technical problems, nothing unusual. At around 2 o'clock in the morning, he suddenly woke as the train gently applied its brakes. Assuming they had reached the next scheduled stop, he looked out the window. What he saw immediately felt wrong. The platform was illuminated by old yellow lamps. The station building looked decades older than any modern railway station. An enormous clock hung above the platform, its hands frozen in place. And the station sign was so faded it was nearly impossible to read. But what disturbed him most was the silence. No station announcements, no railway staff, no passengers boarding, no passengers leaving. Only a handful of people standing perfectly still on the platform. They wore old-fashioned clothing. They didn't speak. They didn't move.
They simply stared at the train, almost as if they were waiting for someone. The train doors slowly opened, yet not a single passenger stepped outside. After a few 10 seconds, a bell echoed through the station. The doors closed. The train pulled away. The following morning, the passenger asked the conductor a simple question. "Which station did we stop at around 2 this morning?" The conductor looked puzzled. He checked the official timetable, then calmly replied, "This train doesn't make any stops between 1 and 4 a.m. The passenger assumed it was a joke. But after checking the railway schedule, the route map, and every station along the line, he found nothing. There was no station where the train had supposedly stopped. The strangest part? Stories almost identical to this one have surfaced in different countries for generations. Different witnesses, different trains, yet the same forgotten platform, the same silent passengers. The same old lamps, the same feeling that something wasn't right. Were they all simply dreaming? A trick of exhaustion? Or could there really be a station that appears only to certain trains on certain nights? Because when researchers began investigating these mysterious reports, they uncovered theories even stranger than the legends themselves. So, what did those passengers actually witness? Could a train really stop at a station that doesn't exist? Or is there a logical explanation behind these chilling stories? Over the years, several theories have attempted to solve the mystery. The first comes from psychology. Experts suggest that long overnight journeys can place the brain in a state between sleep and wakefulness. In this condition, dreams and reality can briefly overlap. Combined with reflections in the train window, passing lights, and the darkness outside, the brain may create an incredibly convincing illusion. From a scientific perspective, this is entirely possible. But that explanation doesn't account for every report, because many witnesses describe almost exactly the same details. The old yellow lamps, the enormous clock that never moved, the weathered station sign,
and silent figures standing motionless on the platform, watching the train without saying a single word. Then, the stories become even stranger. According to several urban legends, a few passengers actually stepped off the train. Driven by curiosity, they walked across the platform. Some claimed they saw ticket offices that looked abandoned for decades. Others described hearing distant conversations, yet finding no one nearby. Then, suddenly, the departure bell rang, the train doors closed, and the train left, without them. According to the legend, those passengers were never seen again. It's important to note that these stories remain urban legends and folklore. There is no verified historical or scientific evidence that such stations exist or that trains have ever stopped at them. Even so, similar stories continue to appear around the world. In Japan, modern folklore tells of mysterious stations such as Kisaragi Station, where travelers reportedly arrive at places that don't exist.
In the United Kingdom, old railway legends speak of abandoned platforms that seem to reappear under unusual circumstances. Across Eastern Europe, tales describe ghost stations hidden somewhere along forgotten railway lines. Different countries, different cultures, yet remarkably, the same impossible story. A train slows down, the doors open, an unfamiliar station appears. Then, it vanishes without a trace. Coincidence? A psychological illusion? Or perhaps there are still places hidden within our world that simply don't belong on any map. Even today, no railway authority has ever confirmed the existence of such a station. No official timetable includes it. No railway map marks its location. Yet the stories continue, passed from one traveler to another, from one generation to the next, waiting for the next passenger who wakes in the middle of the night, looks out the window, and sees a station that was never supposed to be there. If your train suddenly stopped at a station that didn't exist on any map, would you stay safely inside or step onto the platform to uncover its secret? Leave your answer in the comments.